everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you my Tbr Jar challenge for 2019, and I'm going to do this a completely different way from last year. Last year I made my Tbr Jar with 12 challenges, being read a classic, read the first in a series, pick a book blind from your Tbr. I'm not going to do that this year. I have almost 200 books that aren't read, so I have a huge TBR, and I just decided I am going to put 12 books into my TBR jar that I'm going to pick one book every month. I need to admit, this is I already listed them, I just need to cut them and put them in the TBR jar, but I have to admit, I chose pretty lengthy books. That's what really got to me. I chose very thick books to go with this challenge. I'm not surprised by it, to be quite honest. To give you some clarifications, there are books on this list that are part of a series, and I am a huge mood reader, so it might happen that I read a book, this particular book, before I pull it from the TBR jar. I can imagine there are books on this list that I want to read before December or November next year. So it might happen that I already have read that book. So I have actually at some point mentioned the series and not the book, because if it turns out that I already read the book, I just need to read the next one in the series. All will become clear when I tell you the books in my TBR jar for this year. Part of this video is also because I'm going to join Beat the Backlist again. I joined last year and I made my challenge, and this year I'm going to join once again, and I'm going to try to up my grade to get more backlist books read, so that huge TBR finally goes down a little bit. But these are the 12 I need to read without any discussion. The first book is not really the purpose of Beat the Backlist, but it's a book I can't show you yet because I just ordered it. It's The Lost Queen, and I am really excited to read it. It's a book about, well, to say I can't exactly, I have read the synopsis, but I can't remember at the moment. But it is set Outlander meets Mists of Avalon. Two of my all-time favorite books, and they should merge together in this book, so I'm really excited. I know Merlin is playing a big role about it. It's about this powerful queen. I am so excited. But you will actually see the book in my haul for the month of January. So that's the first book that goes into the TBR jar. Then the second book, or series, because this is actually a series that goes in, is A Song of Fire and Ice, with the first book, A Game of Thrones. I have read this series up until book 5. My husband has read them all, so we have them, but you can't see them because they're all the way up there. But we have all the books in the series, and I slacked off 2-3 years ago because they're really huge, and I tried to binge them. That was really a bad idea, so I left it at book 5. But I actually want to read the whole series and be caught up when the Winds of Winter come. And actually, to be quite honest, I have years for that, because we all know that George R. R. Martin isn't going to publish that book next year, so honestly, I will have time to read this. But I'm really keen to get into the book. But and this is a problem with all the books on this list, what frightens me is the length of the book. It's a very lengthy book. So yes, I put this one on, but it might be that I read another in the series, or I pick just up at book 6. I'm not sure, but I will read sometime in 2019 another installment of A Game of Thrones. Then the next book I am talking about is, I'm holding up for you, Queen of, what am I holding up? Lady Midnight, but it might just be another installment in the Dark Artifices series. I really wanted to read Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows in 2018, so I was good to go when Queen of Air and Darkness comes out this month. Well, it hasn't happened. I read Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy, realized I really love Cassandra Clare's writing, and didn't do anything with it. I was actually quite keen to dive right into this, but you know how it works. Arcs came along and I didn't. So I put this series also in the TBR jar to finally start it and maybe get as excited about it as I was, and maybe just finish it whole in 2019. Who knows? But this one goes in, and again, lengthy book. The next book is really a book that I am putting in, and it is God's Grave by J. Christoph. I don't know if this sounds familiar to you guys, but do you ever read a book and are super excited about it and immediately order the next one because you want to continue the series, and then other things come up and months later that book is still on your TBR? This is what happened to God's Grave. I read Nevernight as one of the first books in January 2018. I ordered this one. It is in my January haul of 2018. We're end of December and I haven't picked it up. And it's not because I don't want to read it, because I'm dying to read it. So I just thought, I'm putting it in my TBR jar. I need to read it, and honestly, kind of hope this is coming up very soon, because if I have to wait another year to read this, that's just ridiculous, and I will need to read Nevernight again. But God's Grave goes in. Then I have The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. The Name of the Wind and I have a very difficult relationship. I have sold this book 2 times, and I have DNF'd this book 2 times, and I'm not quite sure why, because it wasn't because I hated it. I honestly think it is, again, because of the lengthy... There's this thing with me and books. When I pick up such a big book, I am thinking, I could have read 3 other books in the same time, and that just looks good. It might be silly, but I love now that my TBR, now that my read books for 2018 say over 90 books. But that's silly. I could read just 40 books, but very lengthy books. I just need to get over that number that stands there. I love that. But one of my goals for 2019 is reading what I enjoy, and not reading because I love reading. I know that sounds wrong. I love to read, but I just love to read more and more and more, and I just want to get back to, I don't care how little it is I read. I don't care if it's just 2 books. If it's 2 very lengthy books, it's still okay. And that's why mainly all of these are very lengthy books. But I really want to give The Name of the Wind a try. I keep on hearing how fabulous it is, how good it is. It is about a magical school. It's about a man that is a very unreliable narrator. And I really am keen to see why everybody loves this book. So I just need to get it. Just need to start reading it. The next book is another one of those buys that has been in my closet forever, Leviathan Wake by James S.A. Curie. My goal for 2018 was to read more science fiction, and I have read a little bit more science fiction, but I haven't read enough science fiction, I think. So I'm just really keen on diving into the Expanse series. This is a very lengthy series. I think about 12 books in or something. But I keep on hearing this is a very wonderful space opera, that you should actually read this if you want to get into sci-fi. So I have this. I have no idea what it's about, but yeah, we will see. Space opera. It needs to be enough. Then I have a book that I actually bought for my husband, who still hasn't read it, but I keep on hearing about it on BookTube, so I thought I should give it a try. And it's The Lies of Locke Lamora from the Gentleman Bastard series, written by Scott Lynch. This is a book about some criminals who do it in a very gentlemanly way. And I hear lots of booktubers really excited about this. So I need to dive in and see what this is all about, if this is something up my alley or not. Especially Sam from Toots on Tombs, I think, is always very excited about this series. So I put it in and we'll see where we end up. Another book I put on my Tbr Jar challenge is The Seven Sisters by Lucinda Riley. This is a series that has been recommended to me by my best friends Ilse and Melody. They keep on saying I really need to give this series a try. It's about 7 sisters who tell each book tells the story of one sister when their father dies. This is a story of Maya, who returns to their childhood home of Atlantis after her dad dies. And that's actually all I know. I know it's contemporary. I know there's a mystery aspect in it. More I don't know. I just know that my friends keep on saying, you have to read it, you have to read it, you have to read it. So it's on here. I can't promise you when I will read it, Melody and Ilse, but 2019 is gonna be the year I read it. Then there's a book I bought from Ilse's mom, I think almost 2-3 years ago, and it's Går hier op blote voeten van Ildefonso Falcones. I have no idea what it is in English, because I mostly read English, but Ildefonso Falcones, as you can imagine, is a Spanish writer, and I actually read his Cathedral of the Sea in Spanish, but it was actually a step too high, because I tried to read books in the language they are written. So I decided not to do that with this one. This is called Reina del Casas. But I decided, yeah, I have it in Dutch because it's a translation anyway. So sometimes, and Ilse got me a good deal, it's not bad to read Dutch. So this is a historical novel set in Seville, I think in English, in Spain. And it tells the story of immigrants and history. And as I told you before, I read all these other novels and I really, really enjoyed them. So I can't wait to dive into this one. Then I have, and I'm just holding up the one I'm reading right now. This is The Fiery Cross in the Outlander series. I have read the Outlander series multiple times, but for some reason I keep on struggling to get to the finish of the series. I have read the first four books multiple times, and Fiery Cross is always the book that kills the series for me. I keep on hanging there. I am now reading it on audio. I have been reading it for a year and I'm 280 pages in, so tired of it, so I put it in. If I finish it before it comes out of the drawing, then I will just read the next one, but there needs to be an Outlander novel this year again. And then I have 2 ebooks that I want to read and that I put in here, and it is Wuthering Heights, because it's a classic I've been saying for 10 years. I really need to read Wuthering Heights. I'm a huge fan of the number Wuthering Heights from Kate Bush, and I only know it's about Heathcliff and Katie, and I have absolutely no idea what it's about further than that, only that's the classic and everybody loves it or hates it, and I just want to see for myself which of the 2 I will be. And then the last book, my 12th challenge, is The Book of Life by Deborah Harkness. I was a huge fan of the discovery of witches, and I absolutely adored the 2nd book. And for some reason, I just never finished the 3rd book. I was halfway through, and then I just put it aside and kind of forgot about it. So I'm really excited to see if I love it just as much as the first 2 installments, and I just need to start all over again. But I will finish this series in 2019. These are my 12 challenges, and I am really, really excited to dive into 2019. I'll see you in the next. Bye!